Peacock here. Welcome to today's live. And today we're going to look at the emotional fitness, emotional and mental fitness. Hey, just seeing whether this lag time has got a bit of lag time on this computer, making sure that it's all good up and go. Yeah, so today I want to look at emotional and mental fitness because, I was reading some books on elite athletes and the way that they go. And this is such a biggie for us. Hey, Ken. And, one of the things, if you knew you could bounce back in any situation under any pressure, how would it be for you? Would you have more confidence when you went into situations? If stress at work was getting really strong, but you knew you could handle it because you knew how to keep balanced in yourself at any time, how would that be for you? Would that bring a level of calmness to you, or would you just have a knowingness that you can deal with anything? Now, there's a way that we do this, because we know that if we want to get fit and get strong, we've got to go to the gym, we've got to work out, or we run and we do whatever exercise. We know the physical body, hey Jermaine, the physical body needs to have physical exercise to work out. And, one of the things I was looking at, I was reading the book of one of the All Black books, because the All Blacks are top of their game when it comes to rugby, where they're one of the best in the world. And one of the things that they do is they train for intensity. They train in a way to put themselves under immense pressure at training, so that when it comes to game time, it's normal. It's not a problem. Their mind, so they get their mental game strong, so that when they're under pressure and the stress is on, they're able to think clearly and take those steps and do what they need. And, then you look at guys like Bradman, the great cricketer. He used to go out and he used to practice with a cricket wicket and a golf ball, just hitting it against a corrugated iron wall, and the ball would bounce off in all the different directions. He practiced with intensity, and he became such a great in his game because of the dedication that he put into himself. Then you look at guys like Arnie Schwarzenegger. The guy's a big, strong buff guy, but he practiced over and over again to get his to get the voice right and the saying right. I'll be back. And he says in his book that he practiced it over and over again to build the muscle so that it came out right every time. So when we look at our emotions and our mental game on what's going on, how much time do we put, or do you put, into your mental game? So one of the things is ask a question here. What practice or ritual do you do to strengthen your emotional or mental game? What's something that you do? Just jot it in the comments there if you want, of something that you do to help build your mental game or your emotional game, so that you can stay strong when you come under pressure. Because one thing that we guarantee, that we're going to have ups and downs. There's going to be turbulence. People are going to say things, and we're going to feel a push inside of ourselves where we get knocked off balance. And how fast can you come back into balance? What's some of the practices that you use? I know for me, I meditate often. I don't say I meditate every day, but I'll go through phases where I meditate, and I know when I'm out of balance, or I know I need to do some work on myself, I can go in and meditate for 4 or 5 hours. It's not a problem. But other days I'll just do like a 10-minute meditation or a half-hour meditation. Other rituals I do is I write in my journal, my gratitude journal. And I know if I don't do my journal work, because I'll go for periods where I stop. And in the stopping of it, I notice and watch the difference in my day. Yeah, good one. Meditate. There, Jermaine. Awesome. Other practices I'll do is, I know I do my, I've got a practice. I get up in the morning and I'll read, meditate, journal, and depending on days, I'll go for a run or do whatever. They have become rituals for me, and I know if I stop them, it knocks me out of whack mentally and emotionally because of the biochemical going through my body. I'm not getting the serotonin in that in my body, and I'm aware of the importance of getting the serotonin that flowing through your body. I'm aware of how often the emotions cool, Doug. Yeah, kid. It's too funny. But the one of the things that I look at is, hey, for us to achieve and to build our muscle in our emotional game, because a lot of people, what happens is they get into their emotions and they get caught. And this has been a biggie for my whole life. I understand where it comes from because I was a real emotional type person where someone would say something and the emotion in me or what hurt or whatever would come up would be, oh, it's against me. It's pain towards me. And so I would take it personally. And this was just the emotion, and then the mental connection would then start running a cycle and I'd just spiral. So what a lot of people have it go on at work, and you can have it in work, you can have it in your relationship, you can have it in anything, in your health. You know, you're trying to lose weight and the scale seems to be going the wrong way. You go, Jesus must be broken. And then you emotionally feel a certain way, or you mentally think to yourself, God, I'm fat or I'm blah, blah. And you feel crap and you put yourself in a cycle. So what we got to do, if we can put ourselves in a negative cycle so easily, then we can put ourselves in a positive cycle just as well. And it's about getting ourselves into the practice of building up our emotional body and our mental muscle so that when we feel emotionally knocked off balance, we know how to come back into presence. So if we're being emotional, and our emotions are going on, we know that we're caught in a cycle where we're feeling hurt, and we've usually gone into some victim consciousness where we're being a victim, it's poor me, and we're doing that. And then so what we do then is we then get a thought, and then usually our thoughts tend to be blaming, shaming, or justifying why we're there. And it's not fear, and we tend to run a cycle. We have a thought, we have a negative emotion, negative thought, negative emotion. And when we have that negative thought, it releases a chemical from the brain, which then comes into the body, which makes us feel a certain way. And this cycle will continue as long as we keep giving it energy. What we need to do is to break the cycle. So the first step is to become aware that you're even running the cycle. And through becoming aware, you start using your mind, and say, hey, I'm in my emotions right now. And yeah, I can't bloody stop. And away you go, and you keep feeling like crap, or you're getting angry, but you know you're totally unconscious and you're doing it, and you're watching your step. The first part is you become aware of it. And when you are aware that you are doing it, you then have a choice. And, being honest with you, quite often it's a nice feeling hanging shit on someone else and blaming them, because it feels better than blaming yourself. Or else you start blaming yourself, and that gives you the excuse to go and eat all the chocolates and all the crap and go sobbing, crying your coffee type thing. But when we come back to it, we know that it's just a pattern of behavior that we're engaging in. We know it's not truth, and we know it's a pattern of behavior. And when you look at it, and when you come back into balance and you come back into the calmness, you realize that you were just being in the drama of some non-truth, and you were just running a cycle. So what we do here is we come back into, okay, so what's the right practice on how we can heal this, on how we can fix this, and what can I do? So a way to build the muscle for you to be able to strengthen yourself, so that when you get caught in this negative emotion, you need to build the mental muscle. And then so if we're in emotions, we look to the mental side, and if we're in the mental side, we look to the emotional side. You look at either side when you're caught in one. So if you're finding your thoughts are being really angry, you say, well, hold on, what's the emotion I'm being here? Is this loving kindness? No, it won't be loving kindness. If you've got negative thoughts going on, the last thing you're going to be doing is loving kindness. It's out down the road having a coffee with mates. You're there all on your own in your shit sandwich. And the thing that you look at, you go, well, if I'm being so negative, well, how the hell am I supposed to allow loving kindness in there if I'm in such negative thoughts? And then when you're in the emotions, and if you're just in the emotions and you're wallowing around in the pity pit and the pus and that, then you've got to ask yourself, well, hold on. Here I am in the stress or the fear, and I'm worried and thinking thoughts of all this stuff that could happen. Probably won't, but it could happen. And you start coming back, you go, well, hold on a minute. Where am I now? So one of the practices I get people to do, and this practice helps, and what we're trying to do here is to create a gap between the noise and where you are, or the emotion and where you are. And in this gap, as we create the gap, you're then able to look and see the disturbance or the bullshit that's going on and realize it's not you, it's just a story. And as we allow the story to go, hold on. And as we allow the story to go, what happens is we recognize that the story is just a story. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with you. It's just a story that you've got running. And it's just like a program. And if you ever watch, a program like Seinfeld or Friends and that, the reruns are always the same. No matter how many times you watch it, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you look at your emotional journey, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you watch, there's a story, there's a cycle. And the funny thing is as you become more aware and you start watching it, you go, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to get really mad. And then I'm going to go feel sorry for myself. And then I'm going to feel embarrassed because I made an ass of myself. And then you do the cycle and you come back to normal. And you watch yourself go through it. I only know it because it's what I used to do myself. And so people, when we go into this, it can be, it's about building the muscle of the fitness and the strength, because like the All Blacks, they trained with intensity. So what you do here is you go into the place of going, okay, so I've got this emotion coming up, or I've got these thoughts coming up, these negative thoughts, which are being, making my vibration go down, making me nosedive into the ground because I'm feeling anger or self-righteous or whatever it is. And what we do is we just go, okay, so these are the thoughts. Are these thoughts real, right, or true? No, they're just thoughts. And what we do is we see all the noise. It's like the TV's going and it's just going on there. And what I want to get people to do is take a step, and I just say step to the right. You can step to the left, whatever, but we'll just go step to the right. And over in the right, there's just the light. There's just the energy of light, of stillness, of loving kindness. It's just this energy of light. Now, it's not going to ask you to stand there. It's not going to try and pull you there. It's just going to be there. And if you can feel the emotion and all the stuff going on there now for you, just imagine in your mind stepping to the right. And as you step to the right, you'll instantly begin to start feeling a little bit calmer. The noise will still be going, the emotions will still be running, the mental game will be still running, but you'll be watching it. And it's all of a sudden like you're standing there watching yourself being a bluefish, just carrying on like a pork chop. And you go, oh, geez. And you're watching it and you're just watching yourself. And it'll be trying to pull you back in. Now, where we get the mental and emotional fitness is we realize that the more that we can come and stay out of here, we create the gap, the easier it is to not get engaged in the story, and we can release ourselves from the story. And the more that we sit in this place here, in this space, and it's, people call it presence, you call it the light, you call it whatever. For me, it's just, it is all that. But it's coming and sitting and observing yourself, watching what's going on. And you're watching the story going on in your head. In the separating from it, you create a gap, and then you can ask yourself the question, is that right, real, or true? What is it? Is it what I need to, is it worth me getting all worked up about? What's actually really going on? Is my perception of what's going on actually true? And you'll find that it starts losing its power. It'll keep making noise and it'll keep trying to suck you back in. To build the muscle for you to strengthen this, you need to allow yourself to remember, and this is where we use our mental game. As soon as we start getting into the emotions, we need to say, hey, step to the right, step to the right, step to the right. And you have to keep doing it. At the start, your muscle will be as weak as shit. You'll be useless. But that's okay. Because how did the All Blacks, or how did Arnie become the bodybuilder of the world and that? How does anyone become top of their game? Practice. How does a martial artist become a 7-dan black belt in martial arts? They practice. They do it over and over and over again. And that's what you got to do for yourself if you want to become emotionally and mentally strong in all areas of your life. You realize the story that's going on is just the story. The emotions that are coming up are just emotions. They're not who you are or what you are. They're just emotions that are passing through. And it's your attachment to them that's causing the pain. When you step apart and step into the light and step into the loving kindness, you are able to observe them from outside. When we do that, we then can allow ourselves to untangle them. The stronger the muscle gets that you can allow yourself, the quicker you can step out of it, the more powerful you become. Because then in any situation, you can be, have someone say something to you, you feel the rise come up in you and you're playing out. You're into the light, you're into presence, you're noticing and you're not denying the emotions passing through, you're feeling them and you're saying, God, this sucks. Okay, so what's the emotion? What's the hurt here? And you're using your mind to look at actually what's going on. Well, hold on, what's the emotion or the hurt that's actually causing me this emotion to run through? They just said X. All of a sudden, I feel rah, and I'm caught in this dance. And you separate yourself from the dance. You allow yourself to observe it. It runs through. And you'll find because you're just observing it and you're no longer caught into it, you'll see the BS story that you're telling yourself. And you go, wow, is that serving me? Is that bringing me to loving kindness? Or is that just making me feel like shit? And you've got a choice. You can go and hang out in the shit if you want, but you'll find that if you go into your pussy pity pit, not a lot of people like hanging out in them, or you'll only find victims hang out in them. When you allow yourself to recognize and say, no, I'm more bigger than that, I'm stronger than that, I'm who I am the light, I'm this loving being of loving kindness, you'll realize that that's just a story. And what happens is we build the muscle. And guess what will happen? As you're building the muscle and getting stronger at it, and you do your work continuously, the universe will throw you some tests to see how you're going. Like the All Blacks, they train in intensity. If they know they get hammered in a certain way when they're playing a game, they train to defend that. So they know how to combat it when it comes at them. And this is what you get to do. When you get to get people having a crack at you, and because that's your weak part of your game, and you start getting someone having a crack at you, you just got to remember, what's my training? Bang, jump out, be present, watch the energy come through, step to the side, allow the emotion to run through, let the thoughts run through, observe what's going on and go, what's the truth? When you ask the question, what's the truth in the light, you just allow it to run through. It's a discipline. This discipline you need to do as much as you brush your teeth or have a coffee in the morning. It needs to become that part of your life that you are away. Too funny, started getting caught in the emotion and listening to you. So practice this muscle building in real time. Yeah, it's about doing it in real time. And that's the idea of it. Say something, it annoys you again. What's the charge? Take a step to the right. And you find the loving kindness and the light won't try and pull you, won't be telling you to come and stand in it. Why would it? It's always just there. You have a choice. And when you recognize that you have a choice, you can step into it. Most of us all the time keep coming back into the noise because the noise is strong. The noise keeps coming back and wanting our attention and all that. And it's been running our whole lives. And this is a muscle. It's like Arnie when he lifted the weights. He just didn't go and pick up the biggest, heavy weights and all of a sudden have big biceps. He started at a certain weight, got stronger, and then he's lifting these things that are blown so huge it's not funny. But this is where you do your practice, you do your work for yourself. When you do that and you do it correctly, it will open up and expand. If you just go and stand in the loving kindness and you've still got blame and shame and justification going on, yeah, you're sitting in the stillness and the presence, but you're still caught by the mind. And you've got to become aware of that. When you become aware of that, you go, crap, I'm doing it. And know that you will find things and they will keep unraveling as you go. You know, just the other day, my wife said something, hey, do you realize you say that? And I went, no, I didn't. And I realized it got me a certain result when I said a certain phrase, a certain sentence. I went, wow, I must be saying that to myself all the time unconsciously. But it was just time for it to bubble up for me to see it, make the change. All of a sudden, get a different result. And it's amazing how fast the results change. But it's becoming aware. There's no beating up. It's just, oh, wow, I was doing that. And you let it go. So I hope that helps. And I hope it really helps you gives you some strength on a way to build the muscle on becoming emotionally strong and mentally strong. Because if we're just in our emotions, or, you know, we're up and down, we're all over the place, and it just drives us nuts. And you'll find that you tend to your relationships will be all over the place. And if you just then become mentally and you just shut your emotions down and just go, no, I'm just going to do that, you just become like a brick wall. And that's about as loving and kind as a, brick wall. So it's about finding the balance and being able to use them both. And quite often, if we shut down on our mind, it's because we're scared of whatever hurt we have inside of us, or whatever emotion is there. And so one of the things for you, if you can just allow yourselves to enjoy, just allow yourself to just step to the right. Step to the right. That's all you got to do. You're standing there talking to someone and someone says something to you and it pisses you off. Just take a breath. And in your head, just step to the right. And sometimes I get even people, some of my clients, even physically step to the right. People don't know what they're doing, but what they're doing is creating the gap between that charge that's coming through and the knowingness of self. The more you do that, the more powerful you become. Okay, guys, I hope that's been helpful for you today. Enjoy, have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I've got a goodie that I'm working on at the moment to show another level of this. Okay, guys, keep smiling, and if anyone wants to join us in the healing group where we're going to take this stuff deeper, where I'll actually work with the energy on this today, I will put the link up for you. So keep smiling and have an awesome day.